just the second you walk through the doors, it's just a good feeling. It was a peaceful place, and everyone there was just nice, and the rooms were just so warm and just homey. I mean, I liked the fact that there was a lamp in the room, and it just felt like home. And they took out the actual hospital bed and brought in a crib for Miller. He didn't lay in it, of course, because we wouldn't put him down. But we wanted, I mean, it was a baby there, so we wanted him to have a crib. And so they brought a crib in, and shouldn't have to have cribs at hospice, but. So on March 28th of 2011, we gave birth to our second son, Miller McNeil Woodruff. And anyway, we brought him home. Thought, you know, our world was perfect, and just life was good. My mom stayed with us the first week, and she made comments here and there about Miller's lack of movement. I just kind of blew it off and didn't think anything of it till he was 3 weeks old. And I finally asked her, I said, you know, are you really concerned about something being wrong? And she said, well, I just wish she moved more, and just kind of left it at that. Went to the doctor, and we thought that they would send us home and tell us to be thankful for our laid-back baby. Immediately, the second the doctor walked in, Dr. Schaefer walked in the room, we knew something wasn't right. Dr. Schaefer told us that he would take Miller to Arkansas Children's Hospital. So we stayed the night at Mercy. It was the longest night of our lives, probably, because we were just waiting. At that point, we knew something's wrong with our baby, and we didn't know what. And basically, we were there for a week. They did test after test after test, and we got the diagnosis of spinal muscular atrophy. Patrick said, what's his prognosis? And the doctor said, we're sorry to tell you, but Miller won't live to see his first birthday. And we knew at that point that his life was going to be short, and our goal as his parents was to give him the best life that we could for the short time that he was here. As parents, the thing that you don't want to think about your children struggling and suffering, and so that was our biggest fear, was to watch him struggle and suffer.
Miller and I had a special bond. We figured out that he would love laying on his belly because it was a lot easier to breathe and it was comfortable. So, and for some reason, which I always remember and love, that he loved laying on me for some reason more than anyone, which was a special bond for me, for sure. For a father to have that bond for a young 3-month-old is pretty special, because usually that's a mother's bond when they're feeding them and with them 24/7. So I think he knew that we didn't have that bond yet. And I always looked him in the eye, let him know who had him, and put him on my chest. And for some reason, he would stop crying or fussing at that probably in a second.
It was like immediate.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But I loved it. I loved that he had that bond.
I'll never forget it.
So we were with home health for 2 weeks. Then we made the decision to switch to hospice. And even though we knew that was going to be something that we had to do down the road, or we wanted to do down the road to give Miller and us comfort in the end, it was just kind of a reality, like, okay, this is it. You know, we know it's happening. But so we switched to hospice, and our nurse Dion came, and she was a blessing to us and to Miller and to Cole. And she always made us feel like we could call her anytime we wanted. She gave us her cell phone number. She just made us feel like nothing was unimportant. We have people in and out of our house from his diagnosis till the day he passed away. We constantly had people in and out, which we loved. We wanted everybody to get to meet him, and it gave us something to look forward to, people coming over and meeting him, and kind of kept our minds off things. And but in the end, I knew that I wanted it to just be the three of us, because Patrick and our personality is to make sure everyone else is okay. Like, through everything, we were trying to make sure everybody else was okay, and in the end, it's like it's not going to be okay, and so we wanted to be able to just be real with ourselves and grieve the loss of Miller. But it was, and once we got to the facility, everyone was just so warm and welcoming, and they realized that Miller was going downhill faster than our denial was letting us believe, and we were still, as his parents, wanting to feed him and things, and so we asked them for formula, and I'm sure they were thinking, he doesn't really need to eat, but they just were like, okay, do you want formula? We'll go get formula. And so just anything we asked for, they were just there. He actually passed away that night on my chest, and the nurses would come in, throughout the night and give him his medicine and things. And gosh, he was so peaceful. Everything about it was just peaceful, and he wasn't in any pain, and that was what we couldn't have asked for a more peaceful ending to his life. And I woke up and I realized that he wasn't breathing, and waited for a little while before we went and actually got him, because we wanted to make sure. And Patrick went and got the nurses, and they came in and listened to him and flipped the oxygen machine off. And I think that's when it really hit me. I kind of looked like, what are you doing? He needs that. And they said they could hear better. They could hear whether he was breathing or not better. And so anyway, they just looked at us, and you could just see the hurt, the hurt in their eyes. But we told them it's okay. That's why we were there. And it was everything that we had hoped that it would be. As bad as it is to lose your child, there's never a good time for it to happen, but he lived a really good life, and he went out peacefully, and that's all we can ask for as his parents. So we thank Circle of Life, everyone there. Like I said, from the gentleman that delivered the equipment, to our nurse Dion, to the social worker that came by, the chaplain that would call to check on us, the doctors that made house calls, the inpatient nurses. Our experience with everybody was just top notch, and we're so thankful for that.
I'm with Miller.
I'm with Miller.